Gonna do a video today, a little bit of Division 2. Doing this video because there's another thread in the forums talking about how open world play for a solo is unplayable or ruined and not possible, all of the above. It's, you know, there's not a day that goes by that there isn't some traffic in the forums having to do with how solo plays is not possible, not playable, not doable, not fun. So what we're looking at here, I'm not the best Division player in the world. In fact, I forgot that this whole build I'm running is centered around the shield, which I forgot about. Didn't have the bullet.
Incapacitated.
And what I find is if you're struggling in this game, especially playing solo, and it is a lot more challenging playing solo, no one will deny that, if for no other reason than all of the enemies are focused solely on you. If you're in a duo or a group, you know, there's other people gonna absorb the enemy's attention, take some of the fire, but playing solo, everything is on you. So to be successful, you really have to, well, you have to know the game and you have to play the game fairly well. Build is important. Understanding your build and making sure your playstyle is aligned with that build is very important. I'm using a build that's based on the Hunter's Fury set and the new Memento backpack, both of which really reward you for being up close and in their face, which isn't my typical playstyle. But I put together this build and I changed my playstyle about a month ago. And I have to say, it really makes the game a lot different. But here I am on a heroic level 4 control point all by myself, and except for when I went down at the beginning because I forgot about my shield. But of course I had the revive hive equipped, so no real harm done. And really that's important for solo play, is survivability.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I personally can't really see playing solo if you don't have the revive hive. And really, your build has to have some survivability in terms of armor on kill or
Control point secured.
armor regen.
Well done.
This build I'm running has a pretty decent amount of armor on kill. Plus the Memento backpack gives rewards for running over and picking up the drop, which gives you some bonus armor. But the bottom line is, it's a build that you have to be up close to really get the benefits of. So
Reinforcements incoming.
that's why I'm shooting the flare out here
Incoming hostiles
to see
detected.
where they're going to come in at. And I'm going to basically rush in, pull out my shield, get right in the middle of everything here. And you may have noticed, I didn't call the reinforcements when I started taking over this control point. I really don't recommend that you do that, because the reinforcements don't really provide you any meaningful firepower or resistance. also because of COVID enforcements during the first phase of the takeover. Well, and there's no break between the first phase and the second phase. I like to take a break to restock ammo and find a position that puts me at a good position for the second phase. I'm running around looking for the enemies because usually they don't all come from the same direction. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't getting overtaken from the other direction. But there's the main lead. There she goes. That should do it. There's still a few enemies. But that was very uneventful. Almost easy. And there's the last one. Like I said, I like to restock.
Supply room access unlocked.
Oh, I guess that was phase 2, wasn't it? Yep, there's the chest. So that was a control point heroic solo. Probably in well under 10 minutes, closer to 6. But the strength of this build is being in close, so I run right in and start running and gunning. It's a Hunter's Fury Memento SMG as the primary weapon and a rifle as a secondary, although I don't think I've used that once here. But other than forgetting to pull out my shield in the beginning, there was nothing hard about that. And just letting y'all see what I'm running here. I'm sure it's not the strongest build in the world. But for solo play, see all that armor on kill, 300,000 and 30,000 armor regen per second. And then the Memento backpack is giving bonus armor every time I kill an enemy and run over and pick up the little trophy. That's why I say that that build really wants you to play up close. Which really wasn't my normal playstyle. Now we're going to look at a different build. This is more of a traditional build, no shield. An AR as the primary and Nemesis as the secondary. And I'm wearing aces and 8s to get a little bit of a buff to the headshot. Not nearly as much armor as the other build, and it's not an up-close build, so you're going to see a very different tactic. For the most part, I'm going to stay at a distance and draw them out, instead of run into the control point, running and gunning. And with this build, it can easily one-shot even a purple. Now this isn't even the control point, these are just random patrols. Now I'm going to move up and engage the control point. But you'll notice in the control point I just did with the other build, you didn't really see any additional things in the open world interfering. But here you're going to see a little bit of a difference. I'm having to deal with random patrols, and it's really keeping me from being able to focus on the control point. I'm on the outskirts of the control point barrier. So I'm going to be more likely to run into extraneous activities. And we'll see some more in a little while. I'm really looking for a good spot to snipe, but there really isn't one. And there goes the striker drone. As I said earlier, solo, the enemy is focused on just you. Well, when you deploy something like the striker drone, that actually draws their focus. So just having a little bit of time where they're not 100% focused on you can make all the difference. I've been playing the other build for about a month. So now I'm used to be up close. Kill them and running the trophy. This is the way I played the game for the first year and a half. Now it feels foreign. But again, I'm not going to call the Allies. Between them shooting me and this radio car I had things to deal with. Just gotta get the striker drone on them. Now I'm using this angle to cut off the rest of them from having a shot on me. Trying to deal with them one at a time, but that's not working out, so I'm just gonna run over here.
Vital signs critical.
Attack from the other angle, except now I've run into a patrol of black tusks. And then I'm aware I've got the outcast lady loner torching me. It's all about priorities.
System curtailed. System back online. The named M4, police M4 that has the ignited. It's really what I prefer in terms of ARs. So I think every third enemy you kill, the next shot you ignite. It's very powerful. It does not do a ton of damage, but it completely neutralizes that NPC from being able to shoot or do anything, so it buys you some time if nothing else.
said earlier, unbreakable on the chest is, for me, it's a necessity. Without it, yeah, playing on heroic is a lot harder. I feel like every time you stick your head up, you're getting it shot off. Unbreakable is kind of like having 2 armor sets. I really wanted to light that guy's pouch on fire to take out the rest of them as they come out that door, but I wasn't able to. And I got hit by the archer.
Serious detected. Agent out of picture.
Lead. Saw that grenade launch, so it's time to move when you see a grenade in the air. So now get them from this direction a little bit. No man, out of ammo. Almost bit it there.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
These Black Tusks dropped me any ammo. No, they did not. Oh, there's a crew over here. I find when you're out of ammo, they tend to send patrols. And they're not difficult to deal with. So if I can deal with this patrol real quickly, they'll probably drop me some ammo. I suppose that's an example of how the game throws you extraneous stuff while you're trying to do one thing. It actually does that on purpose.
Detected.
Because it knew I needed ammo. It sent me a pretty simple patrol, which dropped a lot of ammo.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
And there's a patrol or resource convoy returning. And yeah, that's bound to happen. It's an enemy point. The patrols that are out are going to come back from time to time, so. And it's taken a lot more time to do this with this build than the other one. Ran over here to take advantage of the angle to keep that neighbor from having a shot. And there goes another couple. Well, like I said, I don't call the enemy
CP captured. Good job.
friendlies.
because they're not much help anyways. If I had called them, then we wouldn't have this break where I could get ammo and get in a better position. If you call the reinforcements during phase 1, we'd already be under attack. But I never called them till the second half. And the second half is very easy when you approach it this way. So all we gotta do is keep them from...
Reinforcements en route.
There we go.
Detecting
This is
additional
just
hostile
bombers and
contacts.
crew coming in here. If we can at least get most of them before they even step foot, it would just make it so much easier. And sometimes the Nemesis doesn't fire and it drives me nuts. I don't know why they don't fix stuff like that. None of them really got up here. And that's because I don't call the friendlies. And I get to position myself where I have position. And there comes the next wave.
Detected.
This would be a very different fight with probably a very different outcome if I hadn't been able to maintain control. If you let just one of those chest bombers through, a yellow one will pretty much drop you. Good control here. Got the name elite and another enemy there. There.
Die, you crazy bastard! Get the hell back!
And there it is, another control point on heroic solo.
Supply room access unlocked.
All I can say to those that struggle is keep at it. Keep improving your build, keep improving your tactics, your situational awareness. And I've always said if you're struggling with this game, you probably need to look at the equipment you're running. Especially as a solo player. You gotta have a lot of survivability built into your build. Yeah, you have to sacrifice that. Sacrifice some damage to get that, but you can't be just a glass cannon. Well, I mean, you can. Many people play that way, but that, to me, is not worth it. Alright, well, there we go. Thank you all.